Missile strikes carried out by Russian troops on Odessa and Chernomorsk on the night of July 19th destroyed 60,000 tons of grain intended for export. That would have been enough to feed 270,000 people for a year, said Britain's UN representative Barbara Woodward. Russia also attacked and damaged containers, grain storage facilities, port facilities, and breadth of the Odessa port involved in the operation of the grain corridor. On the night of 23rd of July, Russia launched a new missile attack on the historical center of Odessa. According to preliminary data, 25 architectural monuments, which are on the UNESCO list of cultural heritage, were damaged. This includes Odessa's largest Orthodox church, the Transfiguration Cathedral.
Fathers, we no longer have the Savior Transfiguration Cathedral. There is no altars there, and everything is completely destroyed.
Putin tried to prove that he is still strong and in control of the situation, started destroying Ukrainian grain and churches, experts believe.
First, he had to negotiate with the bandit Prigozhin, then he couldn't go to South Africa because they would arrest him, and here there was no room left in his bag for Erdogan's knives. And the accomplices whisper around that the Tsar is not real, and it's scary even in the far dark corner of the bunker, and you have to prove that you are strong. But how to do it when you're weak? What does a bandit who's down in his own circle do? Goes to school and start beating first graders. Serhiy Fursa, economic expert on Facebook.
The arrest of Igor Girkin on charges of public calls to carry out extremist activities on the internet and the detention of his associate Pavel Gubarev outside the Meshansky court in Moscow, who is also being checked for extremism, are all links at the same chain, according to experts, just like Putin's threats against Poland, which were made in the Kremlin on 21st of July.
The western territories of modern Poland were Stalin's gift to the Poles. Have our friends in Warsaw forgotten that? We will remind.
In addition, Putin believes that Poland intends to claim a part of western Ukraine and, at the same time, the territory of Belarus. In this connection, Putin threatened that aggression against Belarus would also mean aggression against Russia.
What does that mean? That Putin is actually weak, and he knows it, and he is trying to show his strength to everyone. But all he's showing is the desperation of a weak old rat, and they see that in Washington and in Beijing, and most importantly, in Moscow. Serhiy Fursa, economic expert on Facebook.
One of the biggest humiliations for Putin, says CIA Director William G. Burns, was the story of Prigozhin's rebellion and his march of justice on Moscow, because Putin subsequently had to make a deal with a man who had recently been his food supplier. The Russian elite has long doubted the adequacy of Putin's judgments after he unleashed the war in Ukraine, the head of the U.S. intelligence agency says. And the latest actions and statements by the Kremlin leader only reinforce those doubts. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Natalia Husak, UATV News.